My body is giving me a signal. If your body is telling you something, you have to listen to your body. It's giving you a signal. Listen to your body.
Hello, 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 beautiful souls, and welcome to Serene Friends. It is the place where I would like to share amazing stories with you, become more conscious together with you, or simply get inspired by these amazing people you will get to meet through these interviews. I'm having these conversations with people that I believe really do something impactful in this world and try to make this world better. And at the end of every talk, you will always get three takeaways that you'll be able to immediately implement and integrate into your life today. Okay, let's just jump into it and start. I would like to you my guest of today. So it's the amazing Anaïs. First of all, I have to tell you guys, I love to talk to her for two reasons. Simply, first of all, because she is a very interesting, inspiring person who does a lot of amazing stuff and has so much knowledge on vegan lifestyle, fasting, yoga, and so much more. And secondly, I just love her accent. Honestly, swear to God, I could listen to her all day just for the accent. It's beautiful. You will hear it in a second. So little background story. Anais and I we met in the center in Varkala, India. So I was on my first year running the center, and she was doing a yoga training together with her beautiful boyfriend Adrian, who I should also interview because he's also really inspiring and interesting. And we started talking and immediately kind of connected on a deeper level, when it happens. And I learned so much from them within this small time that we were able to meet up, and just also had just an amazing time, connecting and talking and inspiring each other. And they truly inspired me, actually. And for those who have been in the center, and for those who were like, oh my God, those cheesecakes, I want them. Well, this is the lady responsible for them. One day she came up and we started cooking. And the answer or the result of our cooking experiments were these yummy vegan cheesecakes that we made in the center. So she is the lady that made it happen. And today I would like to talk to her about a vegan lifestyle, what it truly is, the dangers it may have, the values it does have, and so much more. A complete 360 on what it really means to have a vegan lifestyle, and a couple of insights in that. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Anaïs. Welcome, girl.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about vegan lifestyle, right? What it means, the dangers it may have, the values it does have, and just everything that embodies a vegan lifestyle. So, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me and to have this conversation and share this with the world. It makes me very, very
It's my
happy.
pleasure. It's very nice that you feel like I can inspire or talk about something in
Yeah,
your podcast. So
I think we
it's
can
very
have
nice
like a
that
full year just talking with, spending all their
chatting with a friend.
Yeah, but it's interesting, and we know so much about it. So yeah, I think we should share it. So just let us jump into it and start and tell me, how did you get into a vegan lifestyle? Like, how did it start for you?
So that was like around 3, 4 years ago, I guess. I guess 4 years ago, I started thinking about vegan lifestyle, like really going into that. It was always something that was on my head. Let's say, for example, as soon as I realized what we use in the products of our hair, makeup, and that, I quit all these brands and started looking for natural products before being vegan or vegetarian or whatever. But then I was living with my mom, and it's difficult when you don't cook or do the grocery for yourself. And
Yeah.
because I didn't really know if it was good or bad, so I just decided to eat. In my house, we always eat a lot of vegetables and fish, fresh fish, and this. So I decided to keep on my diet like that. And then we went to live to the Caribbean. So I guess that was kind of change our mind because we were living in an all-inclusive hotel. So you see so many food that is wasted. and these huge amounts of food in a country that is not really first developed country. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that people are, I don't know, like they don't have for food, but it's not a first developed country. So you see that it's not equal what you see
Yeah.
inside the hotel, what you see outside. So while traveling and all around that in the Caribbean, I started reading and seeing what that means. More, not only for the animals. I guess it was more like the ethical part that
Mm.
made me think about it. So I started reading all these Amazonic forests that are being burned to have soy or to have palm trees or all of that, just for food for animals in the first world, or what we consider
Wow.
first world, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I guess it was kind of, I don't know how to say the word, but it was kind of okay. We take advantage of you because you don't have enough money, or it's politics or economics. I don't know what it's there, but at the end, it's little farmers and little families, little populations who suffer these things. So I didn't really want to be a part of that. So first thing I did is like I quit totally meat. I quit meat, and then after maybe a few months with no meat, I was fine. I was okay because I really knew I was doing it because something on my heart told me I had to do it. So it
Yeah.
was not an effort for me. I didn't see meat as, oh, I want to eat this. No, I didn't really even think about it.
Because
And
you
then,
immediately like made the click to like when I eat meat, actually, I'm not only hurting the animals but also
mhm,
nature and also not helping my
yeah,
own
it's like,
health.
okay, so I want to kind of protect this overconsumption,
Yeah.
overproduction. We don't really treat animals like animals anymore. They're
Mm.
like just robots. So you go to the supermarket and you see chicken, what it's said to be chicken because it's just cut. So you don't really think that, okay, this is the little chicken that I see and this is the little cow, whatever. So you don't really have that empathy with the animals anymore. You just see them, that they are created for you, for your food. So it's not, you know what I mean, it's not really an animal anymore. And it was not only that, because when I was thinking, okay, I want to kind of not be protecting this option of, but then I was thinking more and I saw more things, and I'm okay, if I don't want that, I don't really want to hurt neither people, because people are being hurt by this. There's so many in Brazil, there's so many little fights about all these kind of things, the planet, the earth. So at the end, it's like a global thing. It's not only the animals, it's people, it's the earth. You need the green trees, you need, you
Yeah.
know. So at the end, it's not
It's all
only that. I
connected.
I I couldn't say it's just one reason. It's one reason you start with, but at the end you start searching and reading and this and that, and one thing comes to another, and you don't see. I don't see a reason to keep on eating meat right now in this world that we are living now.
And we'll go more deeper into this as we continue to speak. But I remember, so you told me the other day also that so you started to read a lot about it, right? You read a lot
Hmm.
of books. Was that because you felt like you were being misinformed in general in the culture
Yeah,
you live in, that it's doesn't something
totally.
doesn't
I realized that basically it's farming and milk industry. You'd say milk industry
yeah.
and farming, it's just economics and it's just politics, you know so it's, no, you have to eat this, you have to eat milk for your calcium, you have to eat meat for your anemia, you have to eat, you know so it's everything, it's like that, but they don't really tell you the other options. People don't really know the other options, so it's just something that was created maybe 100 years ago, no, not more, 100 years ago, this overconsumption of meat and all farming products,
Yeah.
and we all think that's the good and the only option, and it's not the only option. So
No.
I started reading a lot, because once you start, it's like, okay, now I feel stupid also, because what I always think, it's not how it is. I'm not saying that these products don't give you this kind of benefits, but it's not the only option. Why we don't have the other options? Is it that it's not interesting for politics and economics that we have the other options?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you
That is
have are like blogs, podcasts, books. Nowadays it's much more easier. On Instagram, we have in Spain, we have a lot of good Instagrammers that they give you pills of information, and then you keep on going on that, and you have podcast. And also, there's a lot of people that jump into this wheel and they do extreme things. It's not all this extreme.
Mm.
But and I don't even think these extremes are good for the vegan movement. But I guess we have extremes on the other side also.
Yeah,
So
true.
I guess that's needed. So after reading, I was like 3, 4, maybe 6 months. I don't really remember. No, eating no meat, and then I thought like salmon and this kind of fish were the best thing. But then you start reading the overproduction again, and the overconsumption again of this kind of fish. People from Europe and from the US think that salmon, or basically salmon. That was my favorite fish. I ate salmon every day. So it's the one I was interested in. It's it's not it's this overproduction. They cannot manage this, so of course they're gonna have to I would say they have to overeat this salmon.
Yeah.
And then they get sick, so they give them antibiotics, same as it happened with meat. In another
Same
kind of
procedure,
way,
other animals.
they
Yeah.
need more antibiotics. So at the end, the salmon you get or the salmon I get is not a fresh salmon.
No.
Maybe people from Norway, they get salmon, fresh salmon. So while I was in Jamaica, I only ate the fish that the fishermen were taking like in front
Directly.
of me from
Yeah.
the Caribbean. Only that fish,
Yeah.
not any other fish, because I knew that was a fresh fish. But then when you start thinking about fish and the plastics, again, it's the world, like the everything is connected. So all these
Circle of life.
plastics
Yeah. It's
that came into the
amazing.
water and eating these plastics. The bigger the fish, the more the plastics it
Oh.
has. So then I decided, okay, I don't eat fish. Say bye to salmon. That was a little bit harder for me because I love salmon. But again, I didn't want to have my body full of plastics or antibiotics. I wanted to have like the healthiest body, or they say medicine is what you eat. So I
Yeah.
really wanted to do that in a world that is quite difficult, because you don't have I don't have my own garden to plant my own vegetables.
Mm.
But from everything that I have in like the options I have, vegetables, and of course vegetables that I buy that are local vegetables, not in the supermarket, so from local people, are the best option,
Yeah.
or at least the less harmful option.
And so did you, because you say like you didn't want to, obviously it makes sense that you didn't want to or take in those antibiotics, those plastics, just no nutrients or a very small amount of nutrients anymore in those animals, fish or meat. Was that from a part like from what was your insight in that? Was that, how can I ask my question? Like, was that because you wanted to feel healthy or feeling like, I feel kind of like, for instance, when I was drinking more cow milk, I felt heavy, bloated, like, I didn't feel good.
That you could not digest it or something.
Yeah, and when I switched to plant-based milk, I don't have that. And I was so surprised by this because I never was really conscious of how I felt before. I sometimes didn't feel well, but I never linked it. And once I shifted, I was like, wow, what a difference. I felt like I could breathe better even.
There's a lot of people that have lactose intolerance. A lot
Yeah.
of when they grow, like when you maybe on your teenage, no, but when you grow in your 20s or something, there's a lot of people that have lactose intolerance. I was never a milk person. I didn't really like that flavor that much. And if I put like some chocolate or whatever, I could eat it. But as you say, my tummy was, I could feel I could not digest that
So
milk.
for you, it's really health reasons. Like I want my body and my mind to be as healthy, everything to be as healthy as possible.
Not the first reasons, but then I wouldn't say like health, body health, but for example, the plastic thing, yeah, I don't really know why I have to take plastics into my body. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that I am intolerant, something that I am not, that I am just throw into the bin. Now I'm putting it back into my body,
Yeah.
even though it's like little tiny, tiny. It's tiny one day, tiny the other, tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah, of
You
course.
cannot do anything about that, even if the fish comes from the sea, because basically those plastics are in the sea.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it.
No.
Even if the fish is like fresh local fish, of course that fish is not going to have these antibiotics that you get from
Yeah.
fish farms, but it has other things.
Yeah.
So I decided not to have this kind of food. And for me, it was not that difficult. Then eggs, I quit eggs also. It was the only like animal protein that I was having, eggs, because when I was living in Jamaica, it's not so easy to find alternatives and options,
Oh
like
yeah.
plant-based options.
Was that a challenge for you to find? Because okay, you can decide, okay, I'm stopping this for all the reasons you mentioned and which are so valuable. But then, what was the biggest challenge? Because it was that I'm guessing that was a big challenge.
Yeah, in Jamaica, I couldn't quit 100% and turn into a total vegan plant-based diet because I needed my proteins, and it's difficult. I was living in a hotel, so of course I ate what it was there. Some days, because there's a lot of Hindu tradition in Jamaica, we have tofu. But some days I cannot just have tofu once per week and the other days eat vegetables. Proteins are really important. So I ate cottage cheese and eggs
Okay.
while I was living in Jamaica. As soon as I left Jamaica, I quitted everything. And that was like for health reasons. I knew that I needed this kind of food to
What
keep
do you mean
on
by that?
working on that.
What do you mean by that? Because I would think like, okay, so I stop eating meat. I only eat vegetables. That's healthy. I eat my salads, my tomatoes, my all the vegetables that are yummy vegetables that are available, and I'll be healthy because I'm only eating vegetables.
Well, for me, a vegan diet is not only eating vegetables; it's having a balanced diet with
Yeah.
vegan options. And basically, here I'm talking about proteins, because of course we all know something that is green is vegetable and it's vegan. That's all we know. And if you talk about your carbs, you can have rice, you can have bread, you can have any kind of flour. Also, that's vegan. That when we talk about proteins, I think a lot of people that turn into vegan start having energy or start having lack protein or even problems with their energy in their body or any other problems
Yeah.
because they don't take the proteins they need. And for me, that I am a person that practice quite a lot of sport and I was working, then I practice sport. I'm very active. I needed those proteins. I've always had like anemic problems. So I didn't really want to to think that it was vegan diet the one that's gonna give me more problems because it's something that I wanted to be a part of my life forever. So
Yeah.
I was 100% sure I wanted to do it correctly. So for that, the proteins are still very important. I'm talking about my experience. Maybe some people they don't really need these proteins in their life that much, but a balanced diet needs to have fats, carbs, and proteins.
Okay, so where did you find your proteins then once you completely switched to the vegan? So the other two were balanced, like that was okay, but where did you really make the shift to integrate those proteins also not from animal products?
So the easiest and quickest thing, and something we all know and usually we all eat, but we don't really think that's protein. Legumes like peas, chickpeas, these beans. This is a protein, but protein words is quite complex. So it's made of amino acids, and it's a chain, and you would need these all amino acids
Yeah.
to enter into your body. Animal proteins, they're 100% complete in these amino acids. Plant-based foods, no. So you need to mix them. Let's say like legume with some cereal or rice, for example. That would make 100% protein, complete in amino acids.
Okay. And
That's
so,
something that your body needs. And proteins, you need them. I mean, it's not, you cannot live only with carbs and fats. You can do for a short time maybe,
but
but if
then
you
your
want,
body will react.
yeah.
Yeah. And so where did you get that? How did you found that like that was from all the books you read that you knew, okay, this is a balanced diet. These are all the elements I need to have
Mhm.
a balanced meal.
Yeah, in so many books you would see like the plate, like a food plate, and it's divided. So it was like half of the plate is vegetables, more or less like a quarter would be proteins, and the other quarter is carbs, and then maybe like a finger, they would put like a finger, it's fats. That could be olive oil, avocado, nuts. So then when you start realizing what kind of products are this thing or the other, now I see my plate and I know if it's complete or it's not complete.
Yeah.
This doesn't mean that you have to do it like that in all your meals. But for the beginners, it's much easier that you just divide the food that say, okay, I put here my veggies, I put my proteins, it can be legumes or it can be tofu, tempeh, seitan, chickpea protein, it can be there, and then the carbs, rice, bread, whatever you want. So that's quite easy for your head, to just
Yeah.
visualize that.
I'm thinking maybe also it can be when I'll put online also some, you can reference some books that you find very valuable and with the correct information there. I'll put them in the link then. And people can
Mhm.
also have a book list that they can, because I know that I have struggled a lot as well in the beginning. Like I'm not vegan completely yet, but like just even for vegetarian, becoming vegetarian in the beginning, there's so much information, and how do you select and know what the right information or at least the truthful information is, and then make it, like we're so used in a certain routine, right, so of how
Mhm.
we eat when from a child on to where from where you are in life today. Did you also experience that in the beginning creating meals was more difficult, or did you
It
really
was,
have an
yeah.
easy switch?
No, it was more difficult because it's just a different mindset,
Yeah.
and also because I don't really think, I don't know there, but I think we know anything about nutrition. So I guess I ask my friends that are not vegan or vegetarian, they can eat just pasta with some tomato, pasta with tuna or whatever, and they don't really know if at the end of the day they completed this plate. They don't
Yeah.
really know what protein, carbs, and fats are. They don't know.
Or
And
what
that's like
you can do
90%
about
of
it.
the population.
Yeah.
I was also a part of that, not maybe that much because I was always interested in nutrition
Yeah.
and trying to give my body the best and having this balanced diet, even when I was not vegan. But it was different because, let's say, legumes are, we consider them, sorry, as protein, but it also has carbs, a big percentage of carbs. So for me, it was really confusing. That's when I started introducing other plant-based products more based in protein, like tofu, tempeh, everything in soy or seitan or protein. But I would say for beginners, just don't get so much confused and don't struggle that much. Even in the supermarket, you can find this kind of tofu. Nowadays, it's quite easy. It's very easy, I would say, when
You
you are
think so?
vegan.
Is that you feel what, like a couple of years ago when you started becoming vegan and now already it shifted a lot, like the
Yeah. Now,
possibility?
now even in the supermarket, I can find tofu or plant-based burgers with good quality. I always read the nutritional
Yeah,
information.
right. Because that's also something in the beginning when I went to vegetarian, I did substitute. Like how do you say this? Like for instance, when I used to make a dish with chicken, now I found a substitute for the chicken. Today I
Hmm.
don't actually anymore because I just cook differently. Like not, as you said, it's a mindset. Before it was like potatoes or something, and then my meat or my chicken or whatever, and then I just shifted that chicken. Now my meat is completely different, which I think is so interesting that mindset. But then when you start to see, sometimes some products are stuffed with salt or with just not even, again, not good nutrition. How do you separate? Is that because you get more knowledge and you read and you know what's in
I
there?
don't buy products that I don't understand the ingredients.
Okay, okay, that's clear.
That's
Sometimes
that's
as
very
simple as that.
that's very easy for me. I don't understand the ingredients. I don't buy products.
I love that. You don't get it, don't
Because
buy
I'm
it.
I'm not I'm not that knowledge about this. So when I see
Yeah.
something that I don't understand, I'm like, okay. And also I love cooking. I think it's important when you try to change your lifestyle or when you try to eat good, like let's say even if you're not vegan, when you try to eat good diet, it's
Yeah.
important that you have this connection with your food.
Yeah.
that you taste your food, you touch, you smell the food. You
Yeah.
need to do that. You need
Yeah.
to do that because if not, what's on your plate, you don't really know where this came from. It's the same as the example we were talking about meat before. People now just have the breast chicken, they cut it and they fry it on the pan. I remember my grandmother, she used to have her own chicken and she used to kill them, but she knew what the chicken ate. She knew where this product has been living, where this animal has been living. So she knew what she was having on her plate and
True.
what she was giving to her baby, so or to her family. It's
Yeah.
the same when I cook. I love cooking, like, and I'm very organized with cooking. I think that's very important too.
I
For me, it's
remember.
very important. I have every week I prepare on Sundays my cooking diary. I would say no, my cooking schedule. So for the lunch and for the dinner, basics, lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Also, then I know what I need to buy in the supermarket, so I don't go to the supermarket or to the groceries and just go crazy walking all around the place. And
Yeah.
I want to see this variety, so I can see if this week I'm eating, let's say 4 days I want to eat tempeh or tofu, and then I want to eat chickpeas. So I have this variety and I don't open the fridge and just say
What?
and for me it's much easier like that because I don't have the time to cook good and nice every day. I don't have the time like 99% of the people. So what I do is once per week, usually on the weekends, during 3 hours, more or less, I go in the kitchen, I put on the oven, all the veggies on the oven, I prepare my veggie burgers, and I have like all this on the fridge
Ready for the week.
ready for the week. And then
Yeah.
I just have to mix them, or I just have to put them in a salad, or I have to do something with it. But it's like 90% of that is already done.
I think that's such a valuable lesson as well, because I also see it around me and myself also. Sometimes we are so our life, and that's another shift for other talks to how we can organize and just calm
Mhm.
down in life as well. But most of the people today have such a stressful life from here, one thing to the other. And until that has shifted, our food is also suffering from that, because then we think we don't
Totally.
have time. So no, we just do something
You
quick
just
or
have, or some cereal with milk. I have so many friends that at the end of a day working 8 9 hours, they go back home, and if they don't have something to eat prepared already, they would just have some cereal with milk. What's that?
yeah.
That's not
Oh
what your
wow.
body needs after 9 hours working with all the stress. And this is also going to affect to your body, to your mind, to your
True.
sleep, to
And
so
just
many
small
things.
preparation can heal that. A small preparation, and also then I think also the habit of it. Once you get
Mhm.
into that routine, it's not complicated anymore. Um,
No, and then it's just like, let's say, okay, I'm 3 hours there, but if you cook something that needs to be like long cooking, like some legumes, chickpeas, or whatever, I don't see the difference in having one pot, two pots, or three pots. It's the
yeah.
same time, and I'm gonna have food for 3 days.
Yes, yes, beautiful. Tell me, what surprised you the most of becoming a vegan? Like, what was the biggest eye opener for you, or the biggest surprise?
For me, it was like I thought I was gonna be lack of everything. Like I wouldn't have energy or vitamins, or I would. I told you that I was anemic for like since I was 16 or 14, and I always had like every 4 or 5 months to take the pills to balance my anemic numbers.
Yeah.
And after being vegan, I guess because I studied so much and I was so afraid that something would happen to my body, I've never been anemic again, and I'm not eating this.
Wow.
You have to eat red meat. No, I'm not eating red meat. I'm not anemic. I'm having the best balanced diet I've
Oh my
ever had.
God.
Yeah, so that was a big surprise for me and for my doctor that she's my best friend. Also, so
That's practical.
so I told her I'm gonna have this blood test every 6 months because she was like, you're anemic, and you're folic and everything. Nothing happened. And also, I had like cholesterol. You said
Mhm.
cholesterol. It was not produced from the food I ate. It was something that my own body produced.
Wow.
Some
Okay.
people they have that, so the doctor say this you're gonna have to take a pill forever in your life.
Oh my.
And I don't like pills
Mm.
if they're not necessary. So
Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to take pills, but if it's not necessary, so I say, okay, I'm gonna try to make some changes first, and then if nothing changed, then I will take the pills. And this was in between. I was doing my transition to vegan, and this cholesterol also is gone.
Wow, that is so. When I hear stories like this, I'm always blown away because I think, wow, there's so much. Actually, I always feel very, how can I say, like as you said before in the talk, like dumb, like, oh my God, I know so little actually of the influence or my own responsibility of the food I take in and what it does to my body. That you see
Mhm.
that your results are completely different because just of the food you put into your body. That we are so unaware of that. I think that it's
Yeah, I
very,
get.
very interesting.
I guess we are a society that we just want things quick and
Yeah.
easy with no effort. So of course it's much easier. You take a pill, you just take your pill and you forget about that. What can I do for my body? Even though it takes longer, but it's gonna be forever. What can I do for my body so my own body can heal?
Mm, wow. Yeah.
That's what I think about. Also, like vegan lifestyle gave to me. I'm trying to heal my own body. I've
Yeah.
never got sick except in India. Of course, everyone that has been to India know that they got sick in their tummy. But for the last 4 years, I've never got sick. Never, ever. And I've been
Yeah.
traveling all around the world except in India. But I never got sick. Never, ever.
Wow.
And I've had the same weight from that moment, maybe 1 kilo up, 1 kilo down, the same weight. So I mean that's it's part of my life being vegan now, and for me it's more than just food. It's trying to heal my body when you start
Yeah.
doing. So like if I have my tummy that is sick or my head, I try to take, let's say, ginger or any kind of plants, Then
Yeah.
first I would do that. If it's so much stress in the day, of course I'm gonna take an ibuprofen. I'm not against pills, but I want to do things better for my body. So my body is giving me a signal. If your body is telling you something, you have to listen to your body. It's giving you a signal. Listen to your body. If
True.
you are overweighted, listen to your body. Don't just take a pill for your overweight. For you to be able to stand up. Just stand up. Take a walk. You don't have to be a marathonian person. You can just walk 30, 40 minutes. You're gonna see the change. Practice some yoga, change your lifestyle, quit sugar. For me, I don't eat sugar anymore. There's no sugar in my food, in my house neither. Stop eating sugar, stop eating processed food, and you're gonna see a change. I can tell, even though people don't go vegan, they need to do changes in their diet.
Yeah.
We need to do that. We are overeating.
Yeah.
I see it
A lot
so
of it
much.
is also linked to, I think, the way we live our lives because it's substitute. It's another distraction of not, as you say, listening to your body and your soul, what it's asking for. If you stuff it full with bad foods, well, it doesn't have any room to speak anymore because it's just
Mhm.
stopped. So
Yeah,
I think that's very, very, a very valid point that you make. Like, listen to what's happening and go in there. Like, go feel what you're feeling and react to it instead of pushing it away because it's there anyways. It's not in the beginning. It's scary, I think, when you need to listen and
yeah,
still
we
stay
are
up.
so
And I'm
much
scared, like,
used to we are so much used to having everything when we want, not even having to wait 2 seconds. Like,
yeah,
I want this. Even now with the lockdown, I want this. I call my Uber Eats or whatever, and I have it on my door.
yeah,
We don't really have to make that big effort for having these things. That's something that I learned, and I saw the difference while I was traveling last year in Asia, especially last year in Asia, when you see how people they go into this slow life. That's the life that my grandparents had 100 years ago. I'm not talking about 1,000 years. It's for the last 100 years basically that everything changed.
so you said before that like no sugar as well. And I remember when I speak with you about food, I always get hungry because the dishes you talk about, for me, I feel like there's always full of flavor and they're so yummy.
Mhm.
But when people hear, okay, no this, no that, no, like a lot of the things are eliminated, that it's gonna be dull or something. And I know it's not true. So can you describe what a typical meal day is for you? What are a couple of meals like you say, this is my day and this is how I make it yummy?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you one that it's always a sacrifice access with my friends, even though they're vegan, not vegan. Well, I don't have a lot of vegan friends. So for, let's say, for example, some friends came to my house and we were here around 8, 9. So I had something, some little things prepared. I love having veggies on the oven, potatoes, sweet potato. Sweet potato is like my best friend forever. I
Yeah,
love sweet potato.
you
What
do.
I do is I use a lot of spices.
Yeah.
It don't have to be spicy, but spices you call it, yes, like
Yeah, spices.
uh,
Yeah.
rosemary, all these kind of
Yeah.
things. So I put this in the oven, the potato and the sweet potato, and then I prepare some hummus. And I prepare hummus of everything. Yesterday I had the traditional hummus that is with chickpea and tahini.
Mm-hmm.
Then I made one with chickpea and dried potato, dried tomato
Mm.
with rosemary, and it
Oh,
was kind of like pizza style, like the
yeah.
pizza
I love that.
tomato sauce. And then I prepare one with garlic. In Spain, we love garlic, so
Mm,
this kind of the garlic style.
me
So we
too.
had these three, and another one with black olives.
Oh, tapenade. I don't know how you say
Tapenade,
it.
the
Yes,
tapenade.
so
So we
good.
had these four, and they love them. They love them. They were eating them, and they was, wow, this is so good. This is so good, and it's just so easy to prepare. It's
And so
so
with that meal, you have all the, it's balanced. Can you,
Yeah,
how
that
is
meal
that balanced?
that meal is balanced because you had the chickpea, part of the protein. The tahine would be the fats, and then I had it with some vegetables and also some bread.
Okay.
So
And
that's a
that's a balanced
protein
meal.
dinner. Yeah, I would take that maybe for dinner more than
Mm.
because for us in Spain, we love this tapas thing and sharing the food. So that's a lot of sharing. I love preparing that when people come, and also I love preparing any kind of curry, any kind of curry. And dal, that's the most typical plate in India, the most typical dish.
Yeah.
Dal, if you realize in India, they always prepare it with rice so that you have another balance. You have the lentils and the rice, proteins and cereal. You have this complete food.
And so then vegetables aren't lacking then? If like
No,
a
because
salad?
you prepare the dal with carrot. You usually put vegetables on the dal.
Okay. Yeah.
What I would say, I would put more vegetables, or if not, I would have a salad first, like a
On the sides.
fresh salad, depending on the weather. Now that it's more, not today, but now that
In
it's
some countries it's cold.
now that it's colder, I love having soup and this like spoon dish
Mm,
every day. Then, like for this winter, I would also prepare a lot of soup, like vegetable soup, and I would cut some tofu instead of chicken. Let's say that if you have chicken in your soup, I would put some tofu.
mm,
I love when I put some ginger and lemongrass on the
mm.
soup also. I like this kind of
Flavor.
flavoring, because of course when you change into a vegan lifestyle, you're gonna miss, if you're like 100% meat or fish person, you're gonna miss this flavor. So for me, you should have a lot of spices. Like your spicy should be your best friend.
Yeah.
For you to change, it's kind of, you need to change your taste, and you need to
And
find
try
out what
out.
you like, and also you're gonna realize what you really like. For
Yeah.
me, I love curry, I love lemongrass, I love ginger. My sister, for example, now that she's vegan also, she's more kind of tomato sauce,
Mm,
rosemary. If you have these kind of spices on your kitchen, sorry, you're gonna have less lack of, or you're gonna miss less eating animal products. That's why I
yeah.
think you need to cook yourself.
Exactly. It's going to be a new discovery, I think, because there's a lot of flavors we completely forgot because of that
Mhm.
cultural way of
They
eating.
are covered, totally covered.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very nice. Like,
Even for sugar, like yesterday, I had a cookie that I loved. It's a vegan cookie from a cafe here. I loved it. I really loved it. But it had sugar,
yeah.
and I was feeling so bad from my tummy after, because I don't cook with sugar. I prepare a lot.
You're
Well,
not
I
used
cook
to
with you, so I prepare a lot of desserts and cookies and banana bread, everything with no sugar. I
So
use
what
dates.
do you use for the? So it's more. So it has flavor. Is it on dates or is
I
it?
use dates a lot,
Yeah.
and if I'm using banana,
Ah,
when the banana is really ripe, I
yeah.
use banana. And also if I'm using chocolate,
Okay.
it has this percentage of sugar always. I
Yeah.
always use 75% or more
Okay, of chocolate.
cocoa,
Yeah.
cocoa, so it has less sugar, but that's gonna add you flavor. Let's say, for example, my sister, when she loves sweet, she's sweet teeth. You said
It's sweet.
you said
Yeah.
sweet tooth. So she's like that. She could eat every day hundred of cookies and whatever before being vegan. When she changed into vegan, she's still vegetarian until I came back to Spain. Because she was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't like what I prepare. I don't like these vegan desserts with no sugar. I don't like them.
So what does she does? What does she
So
do now?
she still had, like, when she was preparing dessert, she still cooked with milk and sugar, with this brown sugar, not brown sugar. There's another one,
The
brown sugar,
powder?
the cane sugar.
Yeah.
She used cane sugar, and now she's quitting sugar. Also, she's having no milk, so she's 100% vegan. But I want her to be also more conscious about what she's taking,
Yeah.
because she didn't really like cooking. My sister, she never liked cooking. Now she's starting to cook, and she sends me picture. Hey, Anaïs, look what I prepared. Do you think this will combine with
Ah,
this?
that's
And
so cute. She's
yeah, and I'm so
connected with the
happy.
food. That's the
Yeah,
beauty.
she is 26, so I mean, and with 26, she's starting to feel good when she's cooking, and she likes to cook, and
Yeah.
she knows what she's eating also. So I'm telling you, if my sister could do that change, anyone can do it. She was the one that was every week at McDonald's or Burger King, or she
Wow.
was this kind of person. Yeah.
That is so, and I think that's also important just to mention, like, be gentle on yourself when you make
Hmm.
the shift. Don't go to extremes. As we started
No,
the conversation, you said like these extremes, they're always going to be there, but it's not necessary. You can have a balance also in this. If in the beginning it feels like when I first started, the only difference, because I already didn't really like meat, but only with chicken. I love my chicken in the oven with some lemon and everything. And that is something I really missed in the beginning. And I sometimes still bought some chicken. And it evolved over time. Today, when I see chicken, like, I mean, a real life chicken, I think, oh, chicken, a chicken from the store or from like a dead chicken to eat. I just don't want it anymore. That changed. In the beginning, I still craved it kind of. And then after a while, I just didn't want it anymore because I cannot distinct anymore what you see in a package or what you buy from the animal that is
totally.
connected to it. And in the beginning, it's so we don't see the animal anymore, right? What you said. So I think that's very valuable as well to say be gentle, start step
Yeah,
by.
everyone needs their own times, their own rhythm. So I told my sister, don't push yourself. When the
No.
time comes, you will know, and you will do it 100% sure of what you're doing, because it makes no point that you start doing it and you want to do everything one day, and then 3 4 months after, or even a year after, you go back.
Yeah,
I
that's
prefer that you take little steps, and what you do it 100% sure that you're gonna come back. Also for her, like being vegan, it's difficult if you have kind of digestive problems with gas and these kind of things, because some products they will produce more, your body doesn't really work the same, so it has to start assimilating this kind of products, so you have to go little by little.
yeah.
For her it took longer because she couldn't manage all these legumes and fresh vegetables.
For your body
So
to adapt, you mean?
she was always like, her tummy was always like bunch, you say, no, or binge, when it's like a balloon tummy.
I don't know the word that you mean, but yeah, that you feel like bloated. Is that?
Yeah, bloated
Yeah.
every day. So I told her, just take it easier, do it little by little,
Yeah.
and try and see, write down what vegetables, what you feel after eating something. So
Mm.
maybe it's not all the legumes or all the vegetables.
Yeah, and
You
your
realize
body,
it's this and the other, so just don't take those things.
yeah, your body is also going to react on different, as we discussed the other day as well. Some depending where you are in your life and how your body and
Mhm.
everything and reacting. Some vegetables are not going to be. It's not only how do you say that all vegetables will be good for you at this
No,
moment.
it's a transition, and you need to readapt your body. It's not only a mindset. You have to give your body back the energies and the how to work with all these products that you're giving to your body. So that takes time. For me, it took 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks I was like a balloon completely, and then it started coming down, and I had no other plan. But for her it took longer. Maybe for you it takes nothing, or it takes longer, or maybe you cannot manage all these legumes and you have to take more tofu or more different kind of proteins.
Yeah.
Everybody is different. Or even maybe you don't really have to go into a vegan lifestyle if your body is telling you, I'm not ready for this. Then maybe you can just turn into vegetarian, or
Mm.
just quit some kind of products.
Yeah, yeah, do it step by step. So before we go to the end of our conversation, I would like to address also the topic of supplements, because every time when we speak about vegan lifestyle or vegetarian, the topic of supplements comes up. So
Mhm.
can you tell us a bit more about like which supplements, what is necessary, and why is that necessary?
The only one that is 100% necessary, and everyone that is vegan or quite strict vegetarian needs to take, is B12. B12, it's processed by animals when they eat grass. Well, I'm not eating grass. I'm not going to process this. It's not that it's in the animal. It's on the grass that the animals eat. And when you eat that animal, you get that B12 from the animal that has eaten that grass.
And that's in no natural products
No,
available. Okay.
no. So you need to take your B12. It's very important. It can give you so many problems when you don't have B12. So that's very important that you
Okay.
take your B12.
Okay.
That's the one that you 100% need to take. And also, that's something that everyone in the society should take, is vitamin D. I'm taking my vitamin D every day with the sun, but also not only for vegans, but I've read so much about this COVID and vitamin D, how important it is.
Yeah.
And it's very important to take vitamin D. So this for vegans and not vegans. For these days that we are living, everyone take your vitamin D with the sun if it's possible, and if not, check your blood and go and buy some vitamin D supplements. But
Okay.
basically, what we 100% need to take is B12. I take it weekly. It depends on the amount of grams of vitamin 12 from the pill. I take it weekly, sublingual. You put it under your tongue. It tastes so good. The one I take, it tastes like cherry. So I have my cherry every week.
I love that. Um, Two questions to end our beautiful talk with. First of all, what is a conscious lifestyle for you? Like, what does living consciously in the bigger sense mean for you?
For me, first, I guess it would be living according to the way you think. So what you think and what you do, try not to be harmful first with yourself. I think this is very important. Try not to be harmful, but really 100% with yourself, with your body, with your mind.
Hmm.
That's being conscious with you. And then you should try to open, and same with the other people.
Yeah.
It sounds very easy, but I don't think that nowadays we are conscious with ourselves. I don't think we are in peace with ourselves, and I don't think we are good people to us. I don't think we are good people to ourselves.
No.
And I think that if you want to be conscious and live a conscious life and try to help others or try to do more, first you need to love yourself and take care of yourself.
So true.
And I think that's what.
I'm happy that you say that it's not so easy, because it
No,
isn't.
it's
It's
not
something
easy.
that it isn't.
It's something you have to work with.
Yeah.
People sometimes tell me, you look so positive and so relaxed, your voice is so calm and this and that. And it's like, well, it's something I'm a yoga teacher. It's something I have to work with. I cannot bring my energy, my bad energy or my pitta energy, my fire into a class that I want you to feel relaxed.
Yeah.
I need to calm down. I need to do some breathing, pranayama, some meditation, and then I go there. because for these people, that hour that I give to them, maybe it's that time that they have to disconnect, and little by little I want them to connect with themselves. I
Yeah.
guess if all of us were connected to ourselves a
Yeah.
little bit more, we would be more conscious with
Yeah.
everyone. We are so, I've seen this in this COVID crisis that we are living. We are so selfish. You see the best and the worst of human
Mm.
now in the last months. I don't know how everything is going there, but I can tell you in Spain, and I've seen the best and the worst of human in this lifestyle. I see there's so many selfish people, but also I see people that they would give their best for others.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to find a balance, and then everything comes. Like when you really find your balance, you are conscious with nature, you are conscious with
Really?
animals, because you are with a balance on yourself. You
Yeah.
are conscious with your relationships. Just if you have toxic people around you, just make, a window, or try to take them out of you. If people don't give you nothing, there's no point that you have them in your life. It doesn't mean that they are bad people. They're not people for you, and that's it.
And can you just, because I just a small, I know I want to go to the next question, but I think that's so interesting what you say. Like, so people, when you feel like people are being kind of toxic towards you or don't give you energy, so it's better to keep that distance. How do you define that without it being selfish?
I'm still working on it. I'm still
I
working on
don't
it,
know.
but it's something that I'm working really hard on it. So first, with these toxic people, I'm lucky and I don't have so much toxic people,
Yeah.
because I've always been quite selective with the persons that I have around myself. That's always something that I try to do for me.
Okay.
So if I have 2 hours in my day, I don't want to waste. For me, it's wasting time. I don't want to waste those 2 hours with people that don't really, that I don't really think they're gonna make something good for me.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you like in a. It's more like in a mental way.
Yeah.
I'm not wanna be sitting down on a table that after 2 hours I would be like, okay, so I could have been 2 hours reading or practicing yoga or looking at the stars. I don't know, what
Yeah.
I mean. For me, it's something I'm working on. But what I try to do now, if I still have some toxic people around or toxic moments, I'm practicing a lot of pranayama meditation, and I write everything down now. So I try to write down how I felt, how it made me feel, and this distance, even though if it's not physically, I try to keep it mentally.
Okay.
Sometimes you cannot have this physical distance.
Yeah.
You have toxic people where you work, you have toxic people where your kids go to school, you have toxic people somewhere that you cannot really just say, okay, I'm not going, but
Yeah.
try to keep that mental distance then.
And that's also again taking the time to listen to what your soul is.
Mhm.
I think is an important nuance to say to bring though is being respectful to yourself and being selfish are two different things. And it doesn't mean that if you feel that that person, as you said, is not your connection in this in that moment, it's not constructive. It doesn't give you any energy. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean you have to attack the person or blame them,
no, it's
villainize
just
them,
you're not on the same point of life or on the
and
same.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's I guess like when you keep growing, when you get older, and you sometimes you change your mindset, you find that you want to have other things, other people around you. That doesn't mean that the people you used to have are bad people. It's
No.
just that you don't have that connection with them, or that you don't feel interested about what you can share with these people, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Beautiful. Okay. So final question. Because I promised, this is kind of the promise I want to make to the people that listen, that they're not only getting valuable information, but at the end, they always get three practical takeaways that they can implement directly into their life. And for our talk we had, I thought it would be nice to give three well-balanced meals for our listeners that they can easily make at home, just to get them started, and to have some
With
nice.
basics.
Yes, just three good balanced meals. For like, I will also write them. We will write them out so people can also print them
Mhm.
out if they like it. But yeah, what would be three well balanced meals that our listeners can cook tomorrow if they like?
Okay. So first I would say the hummus that I told you. So I okay, because this is basic and it's easy, it's quick for when we don't have time. You can share with friends, you can eat it yourself. So I would have a little plate with hummus, chickpea, tahine, lemon, salt, cumin. You mix, you blend it all,
Mm.
and I would have some carrots, some potatoes, and some maybe some bread if you want.
Okay.
That could be a balance with a salad,
Yeah.
with a big salad,
Beautiful.
big with some veggies. That's one balanced food, and it's very easy to prepare.
Mm.
Then I would say soup, as I told you before, because I love soup, and now it's from tomorrow we're gonna be freezing here. So soup, what I put in my soup is it's a lot of veggies like broccoli. I put a carrot, potato, garlic. I always like putting some garlic and some onion, like basic vegetables that we can all find.
Yeah.
So you just put some olive oil, you fry a little bit the vegetables, very little, then you put your water, or if you have your soup prepared from another day, you can save a little bit so it has more flavor. And I would add to that some tofu at the very end,
Okay.
some tofu and some rice, little
Yeah.
rice. So you have a big, like big soup with vegetables, with rice, with tofu, some olive oil, that would be the fats, and
Yeah.
that's a really good dinner. You can have rice or rice noodles. I love rice noodles, so one
Yeah.
thing or the other. And for I love also adding some lemon on top, like some lemon,
Okay. Nice.
because I like that flavor. But
Yeah.
I
Yes.
guess that's one person or the other. And then for another day, I would try to. I'm just gonna give you food or products that you can find in the supermarket. If people then are more interested in having more different kind of tempeh products or seitan, we can think about it for some other recipes. But for anyone that is not vegan, simple things. So another thing I would say, let's prepare a bean burger, for example. So I would have my black beans,
Okay.
my pepper,
Okay.
onion, black beans, pepper, onion. You cook a little bit the pepper and the onion. You blend everything, and then you mix with oats. So you have that kind
For the
of
texture.
burger
Yeah.
texture.
Nice.
Yes, you mix with oats. So then you have the oats as a cereal, the veggies, and you have the beans as a protein.
Wow. Okay. Sounds yummy already.
That's very simple foods that you can prepare
Yeah.
if you're starting with this.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. I will write down also when we put it online on the page of Serene and Friends. I will also put your reference because I know you do yoga in Spain, but
Mhm.
people can follow you and just get your insights and information, and that is just also.
Yeah, sometimes I write things in English also, depending on how I feel. The other day I was writing a poem of Rupi Kaur. I love her.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah,
God.
and sometimes also I post some recipes. So yeah, if they want to check,
Yeah. See, we'll put it online. Can you maybe reference it already? Where do they need to go if they wanna follow
inhale
you?
yoga,
Sorry.
inhale yoga,
Okay.
Anais,
Anais. Inhale Yoga Anais on Instagram,
Instagram and
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't use that much Facebook.
So
Facebook is
Instagram.
more for events.
Okay.
Instagram.
So Inhale Yoga Anais.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
It was such a nice time.
Yes, I enjoyed it too. Thank you.